Synchronicity, symbolism, and the meaning of numbers. Numbers are ancient, meaningful, and powerful. It was the Pythagoreans in the 6th century BC who were one of the first groups to popularize the idea that numbers are not merely mathematical symbols, but they actually carry a spiritual significance. As Pythagoras was once quoted to have said, "Number is the ruler of forms and ideas and the cause of gods and demons." Thanks to Pythagoras, we have the system of numerology which ascribes different meanings to numbers. But numerology is only one side of the coin. Numbers have been given special meanings all through history, religion, and cultural mythology. From the Far East to our own Western heritage, numbers have carried meaning for millennia. Numbers and synchronicity. How many times have you seen repetitive numbers such as 1111, 777, 1010, 4444, 999, and so forth? Seeing repetitive numbers is a form of synchronicity, a phenomenon described by psychiatrist Carl Jung as a meaningful coincidence of two or more events where something other than the probability of chance is involved. In other words, synchronicity is far more serendipity, which involves luck and chance. Synchronicity is birthed from the realm of the unconscious and the etheric realms. When we experience synchronicity, we are being sent signs and messages from our unconscious mind and a higher self. For example, Jung described a situation of synchronicity where he came to notice a half-man, half-fish symbol. He was then served a fish for lunch. Someone joked about making an April fish of another. In the afternoon, one of his patients showed him a picture of a fish. In the evening, another person showed him an embroidery of sea monsters and fishes. The next morning, his next patient shared with him a dream she had about a fish. Synchronicity can actually be quite unnerving, especially when certain symbols, and in this case numbers, keep appearing. If you are seeing the number over and over again, it's essential that you try to explore the symbolism such a number contains for you. The repetitive numbers, symbols, and words that you keep hearing all have tremendous importance about your life that you should pay keen attention to. Numbers and symbolism. All through history, numbers have come to mean different things to different cultures. However, overall, numbers have been given similar meanings. Take the number 4, for example. The Native Americans believed that there are 4 winds and 4 directions. Along similar lines, the ancient Greeks believed that there was 4 elements. In Christianity, 4 is the number of creation. In other words, on the 4th day of the week, God finished creating the material universe. As we can see, 4 has a very similar meaning across 3 completely different time periods and cultures. Just a note though, I want to emphasize that while it's beneficial to find out the general meaning of numbers, it's imperative that you find out your personal meaning. Synchronicity, symbolism, and the meaning of numbers is all extremely personal, so be wary of prescribing a meaning to you that is not actually correct or irrelevant. It can be tempting not to put any work and just go with what the traditional meaning of the number is. Please don't do this. It's much better to put a little work and explore what the meaning means for you, primarily. Here are a few ways to find out what each number means to you and your context. Write down every word association you have with the number. For instance, if you keep seeing the number 2, you might write male and female relationships, yin and yang, duality, light and darkness, up and down, material and spiritual. What pops into your mind? After you see a series of repetitive numbers, you might immediately have thought of an inkling about what the number means. Don't ignore this immediate interpretation. Write it down and record it. Often the meanings we first ascribe to the numbers we see are the truest because little mental effort is involved. The more mental effort, the more we start fabricating meanings. What interpretation triggers strong feelings within you? Many people ask me how to know whether their interpretation of a number is correct. My answer is to pay attention to how triggering the interpretation is. For example, does your analysis stir up feelings of excitement, awe, fear, jubilation, or even just send tingles down your spine? This is a good sign that you've found the right explanation because your body is reacting in such a heightened way. However, if the interpretation you have feels cold, flat, or detached, it's probably the wrong fit. The meaning of numbers. Below, I'll share with you the general consensus that mythology, religion, mysticism, and esotericism have about each number. As I previously mentioned, it's important that you find your own meanings, but it does help to know what each number means. Sometimes we really are turning into the traditional energy and meaning of each number. 0. 0 is representative of the primordial void, the womb, the realm of potential. 0 is a circle that symbolizes totality, that which precedes life, the eternal force. It is nothing and everything, the beginning and the end. 0 is often symbolic of spirit or God, and hence of unity and wholeness. Number 1. 1 symbolizes leadership, strength, and confidence. Number 1 is like a straight arrow which reflects willpower and precision. 1 is also reflective of individuality, self-discovery, and the self-empowerment. Unlike 0, which is the feminine and receptive, 1 has a masculine and willful energy. Number 2. 2 is the number of duality, the split we perceive in life between light and darkness, inside and outside, yin and yang, masculine and feminine, good and bad, life and death, mind and heart, and so on. On one hand, 2 symbolizes partnership, but on the other it symbolizes conflict and opposition. When balanced, 2 is a number of harmony, but when imbalanced, the number 2 can be destructive. Number 3. 3 is typically seen as particularly lucky and powerful number. 3 represents the divine principle that underlies life, such as the mind, body, and spirit, birth, life, and death, beginning, middle, and end, past, present, and future. Spiritual traditions such as the Wicca and Christianity symbolize the spiritual force as a triune, for example, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, as well as the Maiden, the Mother, and the Crone. 3 is symbolic of success, intuition, and good fortune. Number 4. 4 is a grounded and stable number that evokes a feeling of calmness and solidity. 4 is very much rooted in the physical world and is about being present and in the now. For example, there are 4 seasons, 4 elements, 4 corners of the earth. 4 is about building a strong foundation and developing a down-to-earth perspective. Number 5. 5 is a number of adventure and freedom. 5 is also a very sensual number, 5 senses, 5 fingers and toes, and it's about enjoying life, trying new experiences and seeking out pleasure. The number is also connected to experiencing life changes such as marriage, divorce, new jobs, and making important choices. Number 6. 6 represents balance between the earthly and the spiritual realms. This is also connected to intuition, clairvoyance, and other extrasensory capacities, hence the 6th sense. In numerology, 6 is the number of the caretaker, the person who nurtures and compassionately serves others. Number 7. 7 is a magical number that is associated with synchronicity, luck, and perfection. 7 chakras, 7 colors of the rainbow, 7 days in the week, etc. 7 is also seen as a mystical number that is connected to spiritual awakening, introspection, and the development of wisdom. This number is connected to the pursuit of truth and the desire for a deeper understanding of life. Number 8. 8 is connected to the abundance, prosperity, and financial well-being. Resourcefulness, hard work, determination, and inner strength are all qualities of 8. Spiritually, 8 is seen as an equalizer or balancer, hence its shape, that unites the consciousness with the unconscious, and earthly with spiritual. In other words, 8 is reflected in the proverb, "You will reap what you sow." Number 9. 9 is the number of fulfillment, wisdom, self-examination, enlightenment, and higher consciousness are all qualities associated with the number 9. 9 is also connected to one's higher purpose and ultimate life mission. The number encourages us to take a bird's eye view of our lives. Number 10. 10 represents completion, the ending of a cycle, and the attainment of wholeness. 10 is both masculine and feminine and reflects the unity that is possible once we integrate the fragmented pieces in our inner lives. Number 11. 11 is a powerful number that is often referred to as the spiritual messenger. The number carries with it positive and negative associations. On one hand, 11 can represent the need to make an urgent change, hence the saying, the 11th hour. But on the other, 11 is connected to one's destiny. In other words, seeing 11 can tell you a lot about the life path and what paths you should or shouldn't walk. Number 12. 12 is the number of cosmic order. For example, there are 12 months in the year, 12 astrological signs, 12 hours in a day, 12 personality archetypes, etc. According to numerology, 12 is the number of creative and individualistic self-expression. Understanding the meaning of numbers gives you that extra layer of insight when it comes to self-discovery and realization. While the personal meaning you assign to numbers might not always conform to the above descriptions, I hope these explanations help you shed some insight. Personally, noticing repeating numbers and exploring their meanings has helped me crystallize many important insights. Many of these insights helped to change the course of my life. So paying attention to numbers and synchronicity is no small thing. Sometimes you will see a repetitive number like 1010 or 555 that helps you to affirm a decision you've been wanting to make. Pay attention, because your soul and the universe is often sending you these types of signs.